Broadway play and then be able to leave and not feel bad about themselves at all. But that creates an urban center that is unlivable for people, and it only speaks to real estate interests, luxury condo developers, restaurant associations.
If they clean up the city, that makes an urban center that's unlivable.
He said,
how does that make any sense?
She says if they clean up the city, that makes the city unlivable. That's what she's trying to construct this argument here. But it's a dumb argument. Because as I said, people that live in these communities, they don't want to fucking interact with crazy homeless people either, Emma. Why the fuck do they want to do that? You think they want? You think black people are walking around in lower income areas in New York City like, gee, I love interacting with the fucking crazy homeless drug addict on the fucking corner? You think they're like, oh, they're excited about that?
They want their neighborhoods cleaned up just as much as the bourgeoisie who are coming in to see a Broadway play.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
These fucking bougie rich people have have they ever interacted with anyone outside their socioeconomic class?
This is very much the sentiment of a lot of people that live outside of the city. And they want it to be a squeaky clean playground for people to go see the Knicks, go see a...
I bet the people that live in New York City don't want to be a squeaky clean, safe city to use. Only a white, bougie asshole from out of state wants the city of New York to be clean and safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet you that you talk to the average New Yorker who lives in New York City, and they say, you know, all those crazy homeless people walking around, that adds a little bit of New York flavor to the situation. Okay,
right.
I don't want any of this pussy shit. All those, like getting mugged, like that's just part of living in New York, man. I have a sense of pride. When I get mugged once a week, that's a sense of pride, okay, being a New Yorker. I don't want to live in one of those basic bitch cities where everything's clean and nice and safe.
Yeah. No one's getting mugged or sexually assaulted on the in the alleyway.
If I wanted that, I'd move upstate if I wanted that.
If I wanted safety and security.
Like, it's so funny because her whole argument is this is like wanting to be safe and living in a safe and clean environment is bougie. This attitude that she has is the height of fucking like insane, rich bougie like bullshit. Like, oh yeah, people that live in lower income situations and cities and in neighborhoods, they don't want to live. You think they want to live in a safe fucking place too, Emma?
I don't. What is this argument she's making? Because it seems to be, look, things are unsafe and that's great. Like, who makes that argument?
Emma does, apparently.
But why? I don't understand this whole, I'm cool because I don't value
This is the argument
safety.
She's trying to make. Okay. Well, I'll put on the good faith Gary hat, even though it's a stupid fucking argument. This is the argument she's trying to make. She's trying to say that there's all these rich white people who don't live in New York City, who don't want to interact with like the dregs of society.
And they want it cleaned up so they can go over there for a play and a movie.
Right.
Or a play and dinner.
They want to build a nice overpass that connects New York directly to Broadway that they can just walk over and look down at all the poor people, right? Underneath them. That's what she's trying to construct this argument here. But it's a dumb fuck argument because, as I said, people that live in these communities, they don't want to fucking interact with crazy homeless people either, Emma. Why the fuck would they want to do that? You think black people are walking around in lower income areas in New York City like, gee, I love interacting with the fucking crazy homeless drug addict on the fucking corner? You think they're like, oh, they're excited about that?
They want their neighborhoods cleaned up just as much as the bourgeoisie who are coming in to see a Broadway play.
Of course they do. The fuck?
Yeah. Look, if you would use that to your advantage if you had just an ounce of intelligence, you would say, listen, we should make the bougie rich people pay to clean up the city so that the poor people don't have to deal with this mess either.
Right.
Right? Wouldn't you do that if you were like
she could make that. She could make that argument. Right. If she wanted to maintain her left-wing position and kind of frame it in a way regarding the situation, she could make that argument. Say like, oh, I agree with the right-wingers. We should clean up all this stuff. We got to do all this stuff. And we got to raise taxes on the rich people, right? In order to do it.
Look, you're a single mom. You don't want your kid to fall in with with the gangs and whatnot, and we need to clean up the city. We need to get the criminals off the streets, right?
Right.
But, you know, she's a single mom working 3 jobs. She can't afford it. But the guy who comes in to take his wife to dinner and a Broadway and a Knicks game, yeah, exactly. He can afford it.
Right. Right.
A cop on every subway car. Then she'd be like, oh, my God, defund the police. What are you talking about? A cop on every subway car. Where are the criminals going to hide?
Right. But that's the problem, because she's not a left-wing liberal. She's a leftist socialist. So she kind of wants society to be completely torn down and for the revolution to happen.
Look, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that she wants or thinks about much of anything. Like, she seems most concerned with just owning, you know, whatever right-wing pundit they're talking about today.
Right.
I feel like she's just kind of out of it. She'll make any argument, no matter how stupid it is, just to own whoever. And now the target today is Ben Shapiro. God, Ben Shapiro should really respond to this, because this is way dumber than the clip that he actually responded to. Like, now she's arguing. Not only did she argue in the other clip that homeless people should be able to assault you, you know, without
you just have to put up with it, right?
Yeah, without any sort of pushback whatsoever from her or anyone around her. Now she's arguing that, you know, cleaning up the subway is a bad idea. Like, why should we be privileged to have a subway that's free of insane people?
That's privileged, Adam.
Okay, I don't see it as privilege. I see it as
privilege.
I see it as the baseline, you know, circumstance for all Americans. All Americans should feel safe and secure in their property and body and things.
No, people that live in cities obviously want to live in dangerous locations with crazy people. Obviously, right. That's why they live there, instead of having their parents move them out of there to a $40,000, you know, school.
Okay,
right.
Let's see how much crazier this gets. Can't be that bad, right?
Broadway play, and then be able to leave and not feel bad about themselves at all. But that creates an urban center that is unlivable for people, and it only speaks to real estate interests, luxury condo developers, restaurant associations.
See, this is totally unclear, Sitch, because it seems like she's saying they want to clean up the subway, so they have to deal with it. So they don't have to deal with it, but those homeless people are then out in the community still causing problems.
No, what she's saying is Emma doesn't want the subways to be clean and safe, because if they're clean and safe, then the property value will increase in the locations, and then they'll be gentrified.
Oh, okay.
That's what she's fucking saying.
Is that really what she's saying? Wow.
Yes. That's literally what she's fucking saying.
So she's basically making an argument that we need the insane people running around the subway because it keeps the property values low. Down.
Yes.
And we can live here.
Yeah. Now, that's not literally what she's saying, but that's the implication of her argument, yes, if she actually thought this through. Yeah.
What is she really trying to say here?
She's saying
the problem is that the city's become unlivable.
And let's be...
Look, there's no rhyme or reason to what she's saying.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Broadway play, and then be able to leave and not feel bad about themselves at all. But that creates an urban center that is unlivable for people, and it only speaks to real estate interests, luxury condo developers, restaurant associations. If they clean up the city, that makes an urban center that's unlivable.
He said,
how does that make any sense?
She says if they clean up the city, that makes the city unlivable.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense at all.
No, it's because what I said, because she's saying it will make the property values too high. Well, so it makes the city unlivable.
You're thinking that it actually makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense. No,
that's her point. She's saying if they clean up crime and they clean up the homeless people and they clean up the problems in the city, it will make the city too expensive to live in and thus be unlivable. So we have to keep it filled with trash and crime and crazy people.
So when she says unlivable, she means unaffordable.
Yes.
Okay.
The problem is that the city's become unlivable.
And let's be clear.
So when she says unlivable, the problem is the city's become unaffordable is what she means.
Yes.
Okay.
She thinks having the city be safe and clean is unlivable compared to having it be filled with crime and homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks having it filled with crime and homeless people is the better outcome than being clean and safe.
Right, because it's keeping things cheap enough that she can afford it. She's I can't imagine I can't imagine a New York that was actually clean and safe. Then no one would be able to afford to live here.
This is the this is even how is it that she made a dumb, stupid argument about why we should all accept being, accosted by homeless people on the subway train, and yet when someone mocked her for that take, she doubles down with an even worse take, a substantially worse take.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Clear. When any of these right-wingers talk about this is anti-working class, first off, the working class in the city have the greatest threat of ending up like this guy who's killed.
Oh my God.
How?
Stop.
How? How's a working class guy going to end up like that?
So Sam doubles down on her insane point. Like working class people, who do you think cares more about having to interact with homeless and crazy people in their daily life?
Working class people. It's a big
is it the rich person that on the weekends takes the train to New York to watch the Knicks game or to go to a Broadway play? Or is it the working class person who every fucking day has to go on public transit to get to their fucking job, deal with these fucking people?
Twice a day. Back and forth.
Yeah, twice a day. Obviously it's the working class, but no. Oh, no, you see Jordan Neely, the guy who was homeless basically his entire life and had schizophrenia. Any working class person is just one bad day away from that, apparently, according to Sam Cedar.
Right.
Because Sam Cedar, these people, these fucking bougie rich people have have they ever interacted with anyone outside their socioeconomic class in their entire lives?
No, obviously not.
The average person who's a working class individual is not going to become Jordan Neely, okay? No matter what happens to them.
Right. Yeah.
But he just sits there and look at his face. Look at that smug face.
It's ugly. I don't like it. I don't like looking at it. It scares me. He does that weird thing with his eyebrows.
Well, his eyebrows are perpetually up, so
right.
Like a perpetual disbelief. He's is he reverse Tucker Carlson? Or no, I guess Tucker Carlson's the same way. He's only for Sam looks more like he's doing Sam is perpetually doing the Marx Brothers, Groucho Marx. You know how you do the eyebrows thing? Yeah. He's perpetually doing the Groucho Marx face. And Tucker is just perpetually just befuddled by reality itself.
Yeah, it's awful.
Ending up falling through, not being able to afford housing, getting kicked out. They have more opportunity to be, impacted by vigilante justice than anything else. I mean, the idea that there could be any justification and the attempt.
So saying that middle class people could end up homeless is the same thing as saying middle class people could.
Working class people could end up threatening people. Because I think there are homeless people that could just be homeless without being pushed to criminality. Right.
Yeah.
Attempt to bring up his record. That guy was
can we just see what he said in response to me though quickly, Ben? I haven't even seen this clip yet. What does Ben say?
So, okay, people didn't bring up Neely's record because obviously Penny didn't know it. They're bringing it up because stupid people like you are pretending like there's no possible conceivable way in which Neely would actually pose a physical threat to anyone. That's why they're bringing it up. They're like, well, he's literally done it in the past multiple times. Okay. He like dragged someone down an alleyway at some point. Apparently he's assaulted 2 different women. So, or I'm sorry, battered 2 different women.
Say that in response
I mean, he
to me.
did say that he's gonna. He said, "I'm not taking no for an answer." No for what? He says, "I'll hurt anyone on this train." He said, "I'm ready to go back to jail."
Right.
I mean, they didn't know he said those things.
Yeah.
They don't have to know about his criminal history.
Right. Especially when someone takes off their jacket and throws it on the ground, which is like the universal sign for I'm about to fight somebody.
I'm not taking no for an answer kind of sounds like give me your wallet.
Yeah, what does that mean?
That's like aggressive. You run into these aggressive panhandlers that are just, I mean, it's a nightmare.
Right.
You're like, give me money, bitch. It's like halfway between a mugging and a panhandling. It sounds like that's what was happening here.
He said, I want food. I'm not taking no for an answer. You're right. What does that mean? Because that does sound like he's going to start robbing people.
Yeah. Which is, everyone with your wallets out is what it means.
Right. And I'm assuming that's what his lawyer's going to say. When he heard those words, he's like, I thought he was going to start robbing people. And how do they know? It's so stupid because they're like, how do they know he doesn't have a knife or a gun in his pocket that he's about to pull out? You're supposed to wait?
Yeah. So weird. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.